All right, so that is what is now being talked about there, that we are just a few hours away from the rescue work getting completed. But remember, it is still a lot that still depends on the weather. There could be rain and that could complicate things. And also the fact that the mud which is settled, which is collapsed, is said to be loose mud, which came down in a landslide. That, of course, can create a few complications if things could go wrong. The rescue workers at this moment are cleaning the pipe. They're removing any debris that could be inside of it. And this, of course, is going to be a pipe that will be used to pull the workers out. And for the last 1 week, we've been very, very close in getting the workers out. It was the last meter which had been giving a lot of trouble in terms of the mesh that had surrounded the cavity where the workers were trapped inside. But that has now been breached, and we expect that everything will happen in a smooth manner. And remember, when the powerful auger drilling machine broke down, 24 rat hole miners had been deployed to manually dig through and drill and clear the passage for the trapped workers. Now, these rat hole miners are trained in narrow tunnel navigation, and they used, let's emphasize in this, the rat hole miners used handheld tools for excavation to clear the last few meters of debris to get through to the workers. And because the work was labor intensive, it was effectively done using bare hands and with some very simple tools. It is what took such a long time for the last few days in getting through onto the other side. The rat hole miners are so named after the method of coal extraction through the narrow pits and crevices, predominantly in places such as Meghalaya. The work is extremely hazardous. About 15 miners in the state of Meghalaya had died when water had entered into the coal tunnels back in 2018. In 2014, the Meghalaya government had banned it, but this practice of rat hole mining was overturned. The ban on the rat hole mining was overturned by the Supreme Court in 2019, and it is this method that has been used by the rescuers in managing to push through that 90-centimeter diameter pipe, which will now be used to bring out all of the workers there. And my colleague Idris Lone is, of course, getting us more information at this point of time. Idris, this is something that crores of people across India had been watching and waiting with bated breath. They'd been praying that these workers be brought out safely. At this moment, do we know what the condition, the health condition is like? Although the reports, of course, say that all of them are, at this moment, they've managed to get food for the last 7-8 days, hot cooked meals, and therefore they are in good health. But tell us a bit more about, because nothing is done till it is done, and we are virtually in the last few hours before the workers are brought out. What is the health condition of the trapped miners inside?
Well, Saleh, all the officials that have spoken about the health conditions of all the 41 workers, they said that all of them are healthy and are safe. They've spoken to all of them one by one. They have been communicating with all of them. They've been provided food, oxygen, and all of them are healthy. That is what we've been told by the government agencies. But we've also seen there are numbers of ambulances that have been kept right outside the tunnel because the rescue operation is near the completion now. And now all these 41 workers would be taken out. They'll definitely be taken for a medical checkup, for a medical treatment, and sent to the hospital first because they've trapped for around 17 days, which is not a short time for them to get trapped inside a tunnel. It definitely must have been extremely difficult for these workers to live under these conditions. But at the moment, all the government agencies confirming that all of them are healthy and are safe. Now, if we talk about the rescue operation, they're saying within a couple of hours, one by one, all these 41 workers will be brought out. In evening, we've been told the operation will be complete. It might take a little more time because, as we know, that tunnel that has been made, they would have to take out all these people one by one. Although we've also been that the operation now has been handed over to the Army and the NDRF, who will be doing the rescue operation, who will be basically taking out all these workers from inside that area. The whole of country, around a billion people have been praying for all these 41 workers, and it seems finally there is a good news that these workers would be brought out by today evening.
Absolutely, indeed. Idris, do continue to stay on with us. These are live images that we are getting from the mouth of the entrance of the tunnel, inside of which, in a collapsed cavity, the workers are trapped. And also, there is information that has come in that the nearest hospital from this tunnel is about 35 kilometers away, and the stretch of road connecting the tunnel to the nearest hospital has now been made a no-go zone. There will not be other traffic that will be allowed to ply on that road. There's also information that is coming in that we could expect the very first of these trapped miners to be brought out in the next 90 minutes. So it's 3:30 p.m., 3:35 p.m. Indian Standard Time. We expect the very first of the miners could be brought out by 5 p.m., roughly in about 85 to 90 minutes from now. This is information that has just come in, where it is about another 90 minutes before the workers could, of course, be brought out. And the officials who have been overseeing this operation, they say that the workers are all in good health and they may not need any kind of hospitalization. But as part of that, the community health center in Chinyalisore has been kept ready for the workers just in case they need it. And what we are looking at this moment, and we are waiting at this moment, is for the safe rescue of the workers who are trapped inside of this collapsed tunnel for the last 17 days. And we expect that they could be brought out any moment in the next 90 minutes. But that still will be a fairly difficult and a complicated process. One expects that there will be stretchers that will be used. The workers will have to lie down in the stretcher, and then they'll slowly be pulled out one by one. It's a process that could take a fair bit of time, but once it begins, one of course hopes that things will proceed pretty smoothly from there. These are the last few tense moments before the rescue of the workers who have been trapped inside of this tunnel for the last 17 days in some really miserable conditions. It is because of those smaller pipes which had been pushed through that the workers managed to get oxygen. There was aeration that was done, and also there was water and other basic essential supplies that were, of course, given to the workers. They were fed stuff such as chickpeas, dried fruits, and this is what kept them going for the first initial 10 days of the time that they were trapped. And this now remains to be virtually the last 90 minutes before the workers are pulled out, because what is happening at this moment is that the rescue workers are said to be cleaning the escape pipe, and they are removing any potential debris that may be inside of it. And once this pipe is, of course, cleaned, one expects that the workers will be brought out one by one. And the agencies there are on high alert to receive the workers once they are brought in. The ambulances are waiting at this site and are expected to whisk away the workers as soon as they are brought out, where a 41-bed facility has, of course, been kept ready for them. And it's also being said that the men inside the tunnel who are trapped are also keeping themselves active inside the tunnel. And the doctors say that they're bound to be uneasy and will require medical attention once they come out. Last week, the authorities had also kept 2 helicopters on standby in case they had to take the workers to a hospital further away. But it's now being said that all of the workers are in good condition and they will be brought out. But remember, nothing is done until it is done. And although the rescue teams managed to breach through the fallen debris onto the other side, inside the cavity where the workers at this moment are trapped, these are last few tense minutes before the workers can, of course, be brought out.